1 year ago today, history nearly changed forever. Donald Trump was shot during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a quiet western town that found itself at the center of national attention. Then he returned to the very place where his life nearly ended. I was there for both, and we'll show you what I saw, what I heard, the visions from my eyes. A lot of what you're about to see is never before seen footage. It's a story of survival, remembrance, and comeback full of meaning. Butler, Pennsylvania. The fields stretch wide. A quaint town where there's no rush, no noise. That changed the day Donald J. Trump arrived for a campaign rally. 1 year ago, this Butler farm ground was filled with excitement. Thousands of conservative patriots rallying to see the president 4 months before the 2024 election. Pennsylvania, a swing state, a must-win for the White House. Outside the gates, Scott Pressler stopping for an interview as he registered voters. From young to old, Trump supporters of all ages. A typical rally where they line up hours before the president arrives. Summertime, a hot day. Inside the gates, people as far as the eye can see, standing, waiting. Then the sight of the motorcade, 45 arriving. The crowd erupts, cameras out, hoping to get the first glimpse of their presidential hopeful. As they watched the black SUVs, my eyes turned to the security above, the counter snipers on a building behind the stage, zeroing in on something, or was it someone? I started recording on my cell phone. This was 5:54 p.m. Then again at 5:56 p.m. Who do they see in that one direction? Are they on to a suspicious person? 9 minutes later, President Trump takes the stage. Then, at 6:11 p.m.
What happened?
We got breaking news coming in. Shots fired. Seems to be shots fired at the Trump rally.
America's most beloved leader shot 8 minutes after taking the stage. Time stood still. Secret Service hovering over. Then, President Trump stood tall.
He's giving a thumbs up, everybody! He's giving a thumbs up!
Trump, struck in the ear, wounded but alive, rushed to Butler Memorial Hospital. The shooter, perched from a nearby building, shot dead by counter snipers. America in shock.
I know you guys want to talk, but you gotta move.
What I say is, whoever did this, death penalty, immediately.
At the scene, we were being rushed off the premises, bomb-making materials found inside the suspect's car.
My husband and son grabbed me and we just ran.
Yeah, I heard the pops and like 5 or 6 pops, and then I saw the water cannon shooting off from the right side of the stage.
This stuff about just letting the probation and everybody getting on, you commit a crime and you have to be put, let out because you can't have bail. It's all just ruining our country.
It's just a bad day. Very bad day for Butler, very bad day for Pennsylvania, very bad day for the United States, bad day for the world.
Our next stop, Butler Memorial Hospital. Reporting live from the parking lot. The president treated and released and escorted out of Butler quickly, heading to Bedminster.
Good morning, Anthony.
Good morning. So we're here live
Live at 5.
The media's morning started before the sun rose. Dozens of outlets ready to set up to capture this historic return. And as the sun came up, the people showed up, not in fear, but in defiance. A circle of hope from the Front Row Joes, a group who never misses a rally.
I cried the day when President Reagan was shot.
and I cried the day when Donald Trump was shot. And you know what? God still has a plan for President Trump, and that's why that millimeter away, he survived. And he's still got a plan for this country and for all of us. And you know what? It's not just America. The other people in this world are watching.
Fight, fight, fight!
Good job.
And down the road,
That's probably me too, though.
people began camping out outside the rally grounds days before the event.
So you were at the rally on July 13th. How close to Trump were you when shots were fired?
We were probably about 15, 20 feet from him, and it was crazy. I mean, it just sounded like firecrackers going off. And I saw him reach up for his ear and go down, and I thought, they killed him. That was my first thought. And then he got up, and you know the story from there.
You hear those shots. What goes through your mind?
First, I to be honest, I didn't know at first until he went down. And then when he first hit his ear, I was just like, thought he was. It didn't dawn on me right away until he went down. And then I stood up the whole time. I wasn't going down. I was worried about him.
You gotta turn on the news, son. You gotta turn on the news. I'm like, why? What's going on? And he goes, Trump got shot. I'm like, wait, what? So I sprint from my bed, and I go to turn on the news, and it's the #1 article: Trump shot in Butler, Pennsylvania. Details unknown. Shooter unknown, but confirmed deceased. And like my heart sank.
He gets up. He throws up his fist. What do you think?
I loved it. I loved it. I mean, this man just got shot, and right away, just to fight was a warrior, a soldier, a leader.
Strangers become friends, they form a bond, a strong love for America. So they sit and talk and praise the day they get to welcome back President Trump.
I know there's excitement to see President Trump first rally, but any type of, are you worried a little bit?
I mean, there's always crazies, but if we're scared, they win. So you can't be scared. You gotta live your life, stand for what you believe in, and I mean, that's why President Trump's coming back. I mean, I think that's something that, he feels is the appropriate thing to do, and that's why he's making the trip back to stand in the same place where he stood.
Okay, so that's the only entrance in for media and everybody.
We arrived to the fairgrounds. It all looked the same. The grounds, the building, the flag.
Same flag as last time.
The stage. It was the exact same setting, a surreal feeling.
We'll take care of you.
Guys, thank you. Let's get to safety.
We left here in July stunned, scared, and we returned thankful and ready to rally on.
You can see it's just a massive crowd. It's incredible, and it's going to be a really special day.
On this stage, just feet from where he was shot, Trump stood once again, picking up right where he left off.
As I was saying,
But this time, the message wasn't just about policy, it was personal.
tonight I return to Butler in the aftermath of tragedy and heartache to deliver a simple message to the people of Pennsylvania and to the people of America. Our movement to make America great again stands stronger, prouder, more united, more determined, and nearer to victory than ever before. We're going to make America great again. Going to win the election.
This was a movement and a production. Trump put on a show.
Air traffic control, this is Trump Force 1, over.
Tower to Trump Force 1, we hear you loud and clear.
Air traffic control, we are on final approach and are requesting approval for landing, over.
Tower to Trump Force 1, you are clear to land.
The return rally closure for everyone, including the family of Corey Comparator, the local volunteer firefighter who died in the attack.
Of course, there's one more hero who could not make it back here tonight because he is no longer with us, right? You know who that is, right? Corey, our beautiful Corey. Corey is not with us tonight, and he should be. And We all miss him. He's become somewhat of a folk hero, I have to tell you.
The crowd came with a force of connection, together in unity. It gave Trump the momentum the country needed 1 month before the November election. And as the rally wrapped in the sunset on Butler, one thing was clear. The scars from that July day remain. But so does the unwavering support of the MAGA base. November 5th, 6 a.m. on Election Day. President Trump and his motorcade arrived to Mar-a-Lago after his last rally the night before in Michigan. Palm Beach, ground zero for Trump's election night watch party. It was held at the Palm Beach County Convention Center. The mood inside, festive. Media row, jammed packed. Invite-only guests wait eagerly for returns on the big screens. It's been a long road, and the night was finally here. These supporters have been with Trump since the beginning, and they're here until the end. USA, 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 USA. Cheers and chants as states were called. Then finally, enough to put Trump over the electoral mark. 45 is becoming 47, clinching the presidency. History has been made. At 2:30 a.m., that moment arrived. Trump, joined by his wife Melania, family, running mate J.D. Vance, and other high-profile friends took the stage to thunderous applause. A movement celebrating a new era and honoring a man who beat all of the odds, from legal battles to attacks, state-issued charges, and surviving that near-fatal shooting. Donald Trump clinched victory, returning to power. A historic comeback to the White House. There will never be another. Looking back over the year, we remember that sometimes in the wake of tragedy, the strongest bonds are formed. New lifelong friendships were made on July 13th of last year, and they still stand strong 1 year later. Joining me now is Titus and his mother, Heather Eddy. Thank you both for being here with us today. I met Titus outside the rally gates on July 13th. He was dressed as President Trump. And Titus, you caught my eye, so I stopped you for an interview and immediately was in awe of you. So take us back to that day, Titus. You were so excited to see President Trump. Tell us about it.
So, I was glad to be there. It was my first I got to be to a Trump rally the first time. So I was really happy to be here. It was my first time to experience it. So I never really got to be there. So it felt very new, you know? Like every time when somebody has something new and they try it, it feels a little bit awkward, you know? Sometimes that's kind of what I felt like a little bit. But I knew something great was going to happen, so I just went with it, you know? Went with the flow.
Right. And when I met you, you talked about your love for President Trump. What do you love most about the president?
So, do you mean these days or do you mean back then?
Anytime. What do you love most about President Trump?
So now these days, I like that he is getting out illegals these days now, and that shouldn't be here, and he is putting more surrounding our borders, you know? I like that.
Yes.
Like, so it's keeping our country safe.
Right. He is keeping us all safe. Heather, let's talk about that day. You were there with your family. I met you all. And then you had great seats behind the president. Talk about that.
We did. So we were very lucky to be with a friend of mine that had us with a fast access, and that I believe that's how we met you. And my girlfriend and I, we had gone to several of Trump's rallies, and we personally thought it did feel the vibe was off there. It was a very hot day. Lots of people were exiting quickly due to heat exhaustion, and for us it seemed not as organized as it normally is, but for having good seats that were. Yeah, so we did finally get some great seats in the bleachers behind us, and Titus was getting really hot, and there was a weird air, so to speak. And I said it could be a while before the president comes because his plane has to land, and sometimes things take a little longer, and we normally listen to music. And I asked if he was going to be able to handle the heat, and he was dressed the same as he is now, and he decided he couldn't do it, and we were going to watch it from home. And my girlfriend, who's never missed the opportunity for any rallies she can go to, she also was in agreement. So it was very odd that all three of us unanimously agreed to leave. And it felt surreal leaving because there was an ocean of people waiting to be right where we were lucky enough to be. But we left, and we got some lemonade to cool off and hydrate, and by the time we got home we heard the bad news, but we really felt like God had and everybody that knows us says God had a hand on us to get us out of there, because we were sitting right where Titus would have seen bloodshed. And we're glad not to have experienced that, and instead to be home, and we saw a fist bump instead from our perspective, which was, our hearts go out. We have since talked about the tragedy that's happened there, and we don't know why we were so lucky that we were tapped to not have to witness that, but we did see the joy of all of the people that come together loving Trump and being like-minded, and that was wonderful. But it's a hot day, and maybe that worked in our favor.
Yes, and like you said, it was meant for you to leave early. God had his hand on so many people that day, including Titus, so he wouldn't have to witness that. Titus, what was your reaction? I was so concerned about you. Early the next morning, I had texted your parents to see if you were okay, not knowing that you had left early, but I was worried about you having to witness that because I know that you love President Trump so much. So what was your reaction whenever you heard that he was okay?
So I was kind of like a little bit shocked, but in a kind of a weird way. So I was kind of glad that he was surviving, but I was a little bit surprised that happened that day. So I don't know. So it's kind of good, but not really, So I'm not sure what really. It's in the middle.
And I remember when I met you that day, Titus, you had talked about being Trump's running mate. J.D. Vance hadn't been tapped to be Trump's running mate just yet. And Titus, you were hoping it was going to be you. So you have a bright future. I know that you're going to get there one day. You're just 8 years old. And President Trump is your hero, but you too are an entrepreneur, just 8 years old. I want to tell everybody about you because you look up to the president. And so at just 8, you've already started your own business. Tell us about that.
So my business, it's been going very well. So it has been doing very well. So my business is actually a gumball business. So, but we'll mention that a little bit more about that maybe later in the video, but not sure.
Right now, so soon.
So a little bit about my business is I started it for my autistic brother, which he is at the worst level of autism. So
level 3.
yeah, that's the worst. So I started the business for him, and I think I started, was it 5 or 6?
I think you started asking Santa for your business at 4, and then you got it at 5, and then you realized you were doing well enough to share, and that's when you decided to.
My brother.
Yeah. And what's the name of your business?
Sweet tea, capital T, nothing else, and then enterprise. That's it.
And I encourage everyone to check it out. Again, it's Sweet Tea Enterprise. You're on Facebook. I follow you there. And, you know, I am just so happy that I met you that day. And I think the same way, and I know you all do as well, that there's people that you met on July 13th that you'll always have a close bond with. We call it Bonded by Butler Buddies, and that's the group, because when you're there at a rally, you know that, and Heather, you know this, you've been to several, that it's just this group, this MAGA movement that's so exciting, and everyone comes together as one in a love and unity for our country. And we all met that day, and we've remained friends ever since, and we'll be lifelong friends, because not only do we have a strong love for our country, but we witnessed something. We were there on a historic day, and to see the president fight on and tell us to fight on as well that day when he gave his fist bump, and then to win the election just a couple of months later. So I'm so glad I met you both. Titus, I'm so proud of you and the business adventures that you're doing. You're doing great. Keep me updated on everything. Love to see you succeed. And again, I'm so glad I met you both that day. We'll always be bonded by Butler. Thank you both for sharing your story with us.
Well, one thing I wanted to add, and I don't think I ever told you, was when we came home, we watched you until the very end, and we saw that you stayed with the story until you were literally being kicked out. So we thought you were quite brave as well, Miss Vanessa.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I was concerned about the president, not knowing at the time when we were being rushed off the premises that there were other victims. And so we pray for everyone and for our country, and we know that we're tough, and the president's tough. He's a tough leader, and he's definitely someone to continue looking up to. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And through the new friendships and memories, heartache and healing, one thing remains: the unwavering love for this country. Many believe we're witnessing the start of a new chapter for America. The MAGA movement is a movement this country has never seen before and will probably never see again. When you attend a rally, you can feel the love for our country in the air. So we leave you with the voices who believe in America's future. A patriotic crowd standing united, singing the national anthem in front of President Trump.